You leave the world behind when you go through those gates, and it shuts behind you. Whatever dominates your life is gone. It's just you in your lid, your lads lined out next to you, and then across the list. Flags go up. You forget everything else. Ten people in a pit. It's just you, and then the rest of the world disappears. ISCA is a club based around H&B, historic medieval battle. It's a full contact competitive armoured fighting.
When I found this sport, first training weekend, it was just me and a group of lads. My next training weekend, a week later, it was just me and one other lass, Joe, and a big group of lads.
HMB is a high-octane, full adrenaline sport, which it's an experience you get nowhere else.
I discovered the sport online when I was bored away with work one day.
Controlled, and you're looking to move your hands about, find an opportunity to make your opponent take a step.
Googled swords randomly, and I found a video of 20 people fighting in a pit, fully tooled up. And I just knew I had to be part of it.
Nice.
5, 6 years ago, and there wasn't as much of it going around the country, so if you wanted to do it, you had to start it. There was 2, 3 of us in a church hall in Exeter, and since then we've just been gathering steam to the point now we've got chapters all across the southwest. We've got our own dedicated facility up here in Hereford with built-in lists, and we've got people all across the southwest, ranging from people that just want to train once a week for a bit of exercise, to get in touch with the history and heritage of the sport, right through to hardcore competitive fighters that want to go and wear the country's colours at the World Championships.
I've always been interested in sort of being a strong woman. I'm a semi-competitive strong woman, so I'm all about, female empowerment, and I came across them fighting at a festival that I was at, and I was like, that looks really cool, and I like the fact that it's women fighting, which I was very interested in, and I really want to punch someone and be punched back with a helmet on, so.
I'm quite lucky in the fact that I don't get fazed by being around guys. I've been a tomboy all my life, so that's fine. I was very happy to have a scrap because, guys are bigger and stronger than me, so I can go full at them and it's fine. Like, I'll little slap on the face, really. But Barney really supported me and Joe to grow into our own fighters. And through the support of, the support of all the men, they opened the door for us to grow something for the women. We would get to events, and me and Joe, and there's Sophie there as well. We were the 3 main ladies in armour at the time. We would get to events, women in the crowd would see, women are fighting in armour too, that's really cool. And you'd see loads of people really interested, but they'd be put off because they didn't want to fight the men. Very understandably, because a lot of the women who were interested were comparatively weaker and smaller. And that's just a biological thing that you can't change.
It's absolutely ludicrous amount of violence.
It's a full contact combat. It's brotherhood with your team. Yeah, how do you put it into words?
Intensity. It's such a brilliant sport. As soon as I got into it, I couldn't leave it. It's the most incredible thing that I've ever done. There is nothing like it.
It's just an amazing community and an incredible sport to be part of.
So we founded Swords of Cygnus as a female club so that we could host women's only training to welcome in new women to the sport. The passion is there for women. The fighters are there waiting, and they just needed a door open to them so that they could step out, get into armour and grow and get better. And the more women we get, the bigger we grow, the more competitive we get, and the more well-versed and better skill we develop together. Because another issue with training with men, physically we're different. Our body mechanics work differently to men because of proportions and our different strengths. We have a higher threshold for pain than guys do, but in a lot of ways, like for instance, a lot of women upper body strength is quite low, so most of our focus is on our legs and how to throw people, and you just have to work out the mechanics, and that's been really difficult until we started training with more women and we learnt our strengths and how to improve our weaknesses against each other.
ISCA's a lot like a family. All of us have come up to where we train just to have a weekend just with friends and just having a good time. There's no pressure on it. We just come to train, enjoy ourselves, and that's the whole point of it. We want us to grow as a community, family focused. We've got to grow with each other in any way we can.
Once you take your helmets off, all the violence and the rage and the anger that you use in the list, that's left side, and you're hugging each other, you're shaking hands, you're laughing, you're joking. Like there's nothing brought back. Say you lost really badly to your opponent, doesn't matter. You won, doesn't matter. There's no hierarchy. Your friends, your family. And I think for a lot of people, you find a sense of purpose in the sport. And because of the community and the fact that you have to work physically hard to improve yourself as a fighter, you improve yourself as a person. And it can bring you out of some very dark places. I stand by that this is the best sport in the world because it's so much more than just hitting people in armour. It's just so much more than that.
I want the club to grow bigger with more members, more sessions running, more events held at our training centre. As a country, I want us to be fighting for those medals at the World Championship. I want us to be that country pushing forward to progress the sport as much as we can. And if ISCA can put fighters towards that cause, then great. If people just want to train, then that's also great. It's just all about having people do what they want to do and having no pressure on that.
Especially for those of you that feel like you don't necessarily have a place where you fit in or you belong, and you maybe feel like you're a little bit strange, they will embrace you and they will like you for who you are and encourage you to do something that you might be out of your comfort zone, but how cool is it to be part of a team with like-minded people where you get to hit somebody with a sword? Like, I don't think I need to sell it anymore.
See you in the list.